Have you ever wondered how to show up in ChatGPT or AI results? Why some businesses show up and others don't? Maybe yours doesn't? Since the release of AI, I have been closely tracking exactly how to show up and the correlations between showing up in ChatGPT, showing up on Google, and how is it actually different? At the end of the day, it's really important to understand that each AI language model has their go-to source of truth, go-to library where they access their information. ChatGPT is owned by Microsoft. So ChatGPT will dip into Bing as its source of truth, as its search engine, but I'm seeing it dip into the Google index constantly. Gemini is essentially Google. Google is the biggest search engine right now with YouTube. Now, there might be some crazy search volumes with Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude, but the source of truth is still your website, the publisher. So if your properties, your assets, your websites, your social media accounts, your YouTube channels, your LinkedIns are not, I don't want to say the word optimized, but mature and full of information and data, AI won't cite you. Now, before I say this next bit, I want to really clearly state that for over 15 years, I hunt the best way, the easiest way to get leads in whatever industry. And when I first started, I found that the cheapest and simplest way was actually local SEO. It was pretty easy and still is quite easy to register a Google business listing, place yourself on the map, and as long as there wasn't any crazy competitors with lots of reviews and things like that, you'd pop up. And that naturally flowed into, okay, I can build the website, I can rank the website, in other words, SEO. But my OCD and my hunt for leads had me playing with Google ads for a long time, Facebook ads. So I'm essentially hunting for the best way to get leads for a small business. So I'm no SEO over Facebook ads or Google ads. They all will work. Every single year, everyone sings the same song, SEO is dead. Now, that's really good for me, because every year that I continue doing SEO, it becomes easier for me as a lot of people jump ship to the shiny things, crypto and things like that. So each year there's a wave of SEOs that jump ship. Right now there are people saying AI is here, SEO is dead. Great, good for me. But if you are a small business, understand how AI gets its results. The difference between a standard Google search and an AI search is that a standard Google search, you ask one question, one keyword, and it will give you the 10 blue links. That same question asked in a Gemini or ChatGPT will likely deliver 5 to 10 fan-out queries, which is basically just supporting LSI and additional questions that help that initial query. I'm not sure if I'm using the right England here, but it's basically more searches baked into the root keyword. So it's better at doing the research, but it's still opening up the Google index. And because of its resource limitations, it only looks at the top page. So the clear correlation still, till this day, is if you rank high in organic listings, if you have more reviews and you show up high on Google Maps, you will be cited more. That's the clear correlation there. There is no new magical algorithm that's being rolled out to replace the way Bing and Google decide who is first, second, third, or fourth. Where if anything, I've seen things go backwards in terms of just foundational SEO tactics. Have a strong About Us page, which proves that you're trustworthy, which proves that you're experienced, which proves that you're an authority, right? List all of your services as individual pages, and on those services, display where you perform those services, We install decks and pergolas. We install decks in Ballarat. We install pergolas in Oakley, right? We are heating and cooling plumbers in Bondi. At the end of the day, the AI is an impatient skimmer. So having your main keywords in your titles, in your meta descriptions, in your H2s, in paragraphs, it's just skimming the top results. But let's just humor the situation. SEO is dead. We don't need to do anything to our site. We probably don't even need to have a site. Yes, we could just publish YouTube content, okay, because YouTube transcripts are indexed in SERP results. You have a chance there. What else? We could have a very basic landing page website which has creative writing, copywriting. But the AI robot, it needs keywords. At the moment, it can't just read an image with your name of the photograph as DC005 drone shot and understand that this is a wedding location in Ballarat and you do wedding photography. Now, of course, it can read the EXIF data, it can read photos, but if your site is less accessible to the search crawlers, to the AI bots than competitors, it will continue choosing the competitors. It will continue choosing those sites that pave everything on a red carpet. So what I'm talking about here is the absolute basic fundamentals of SEO is good website layout, fast, responsive, having the right titles, having right keywords in the titles. That's on-page SEO, which is its own specialty, right? Another correlation that I'm seeing is the more mentions you have from other websites publicly, in other words, backlinks, the more AI lists you higher and shows those sources, in other words, those backlinks as citations. So if you search for something in any of the AI language models, it will tell you why it shows these results. Now, I've definitely shifted a lot of assets into recreating, syndicating, just trying to find the right words. Basically having more places on the internet that explain what I do, what my clients do in a consistent format. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it's duplicate content, but the more detail that's consistent about the services that you offer. We offer freight and logistics software, freight management, freight brokerage, right? So, in other words, that directory listing about us text across thousands, hundreds, 50s, whatever sites helps AI give consistent answers about your business. And I think a really good place to start is to ask AI, what do you know about my business? And what it's going to do, it's going to show you the sources. All of the sources are still websites right now. Most of them. Sure, there's Reddit forums worth contributing, but all of the forums, the Dig, the Reddits, the LinkedIn posts, they all, every month is up and down. But the one consistent source of data is your website and other places online that mention your website in a consistent manner, exactly how it would benefit you. Now, so we're still talking about foundational SEO here. Now, back to my 15 years of experience, almost every single one of my SEO campaigns, I have insisted on there to be a Google ad and a Facebook ad. Most of the time, it's either one or the other, sometimes both. Long gone are the days that in any competitive space, just SEO will do the job. Now, I shouldn't say never. I've got a whole bunch of contacts and current clients that are only running SEO and getting crazy results. We've got the Chris from, you know who you are, Arborist, right? Just the Google Maps listing, killing it, right? No need for ads. That is SEO in a nutshell. An optimized Google listing, an optimized website. National Fit Out Company. I don't want to continue with the list. Actually, let's do it. freight management, freight brokerage, software freight, arborists, tree removalists, electricians, wedding venues, wedding photographers, plasterers, builders, home renovators, test and tag, outdoor living, pool builders, sheet metal fabrication, structural steel, service bodies, trade utes, and a whole bunch of others that are just leveraging SEO. So the website is ranked, local or organic listings, clicks from Google, clicks from ChatGPT, clicks from AI. We see the source, more and more traffic being referred by ChatGPT. That just means that we appeared for the fan out query. They may have searched for garage storage solutions in Sydney. They may have also mentioned that they play golf, right? It's fan out query. One of the questions is storage of golf clubs. We have a page dedicated to storing golf equipment on your wall, on your shelving, ceiling. Because that page existed, that service offering that's existed, we now show up. It's never been more important than right now to have text on your website, pages on your website that clearly state exactly what you do, who you do it for, accounting software for tradies, accounting services for tradies, payroll for tradies, payroll for plumbers, right? If there is search volume, you can get all that data, but just list all the things that you do. It's never been easier to brainstorm those things by telling AI exactly what you do, who you work with, look at your last 100 clients, and basically group them up and build the pages that speak only to them on your website. Have main titles, main headings, which is foundational, baseline level SEO. I wouldn't even call it SEO, it's just site design to talk about the things that you do. And then what? You submit your website to Bing Search Console and Google Search Console. Puts you into the index, into the running. What now? You're one of thousands of electricians or thousands of plumbers. How do you expect AI to just consider you now? We're back at the conversation of backlinks, authority, trust, foundational SEO. So at the end of the day, if people are searching for what you do using however way that is, ChatGPT, Bing, Gemini, it's still dipping into some kind of search engine, a list of websites, walking into that library where it needs to find that book. Now, sure, how to choose a wedding dress, that's it. It's already plagiarized all of the best results of the millions of articles that have ranted about that topic, and it's just going to spit it out. It'll probably give a few sources. Should you write that content? I probably still would, because that proves to Google and the bots that you're somewhat of an authority if you're mulling over this topic. I would probably create that content as unique as you possibly can and flavor it to the way that you choose wedding dresses or clean wedding dresses. Try to deliver something that is unique or value that only can come from your experience. All of the regurgitated AI doesn't even see the indexed. I hope that helps. Not sure if I ranted off in a different way, different direction, but I hope it helps.